Then this is the next step that we have to touch on the AC. So the AC itself, we also have to configure the IP address. So right now our AC using the VLAN 200. What we're going to do now, we go to the interface 200, assign the IP address for this VLAN. Then create. Then you can see on the system view, they're using the command IP route static 10.23.100.0. Okay. Then actually in between the 0 and 24 here, they have a space over here. So from here you can see it's very close, but actually they have a space in between. So this one is the network segment, followed by the subnet mask. Then the last address over here is the gateway. This means right now, when the AC want to look for this IP 10.23.100.0, it always point to this as a gateway. So this is how we actually using the static route command here. And who is this IP address? So this IP address is belong to the call switch, the S12700. Okay, don't forget to go to the S12700 switch, enable the VLAN 200, configure the interface VLAN 200, and assign the IP address. So this one will be the classic, and we have to do that most of the time. So it doesn't matter what kind of the vendor or the AC that you're using, the country code, you cannot miss it. Okay, so from here, they're showing you the way to configure the country code. Inside the WLAN view, using the command regulatory domain profile. Okay, because right now they actually first time to create this profile. So inside the WLAN view, every single profile for the first time, we need to give a name. So right here, they use a name for this regulatory domain profile. They call it as domain. Okay, after access to this profile, they're going to select the country code as CN, or CN stands for China. The next step, configure the IP group. So now they're going back again to the WLAN view using the command IP group, giving a name, building 1. So because right now for the all the design, I require to configure 2 different networks. So for the first AP1 and AP2, later on, I'm going to bind them into this building 2, okay, into the AP group. So right now, I need to giving the name building 1 to this AP group. So inside the group, I'm going to use the domain profile, okay, the regulatory domain profile as domain. Then create a group number 2 and arrow to building number 2. So do the same thing as a previous one, and I set it to the domain. Okay, and here is some of the setting CAPWAP parameter. So even for the CAPWAP, we also can set some of the timer and the DTLS, how they actually form it. So to do this one, we have to quit from the WLAN view. We can apply this command from a system view only. So we start with the command CAPWAP space equal interval 25 then time 3. Okay, the interval time and also the PSK. So for the DTLS, the PSK we can set our own pre-share key from here. Okay, this is an example they're using the Huawei at 123. So by default, it's not going to enable for you. So we have to using the same command, the DTLS PSK mandatory match enable. And the last one, do the encryption for the controlling. So here showing some of the configuration to do the AP automatic upgrade. So this one previously I already showed you the way how to do the configuration. So most of this kind of upgrade configuration we can only done on the WLAN view. So we select the upgrade mode using the FTP. So don't forget to point to the correct FTP server followed by your username and the password. Okay, because this AC is not going to type the username and the password automatically. So you need to tell the AC how to communicate with the server. And when they already form the communication, so what is the next username and the password going to use? So when the AP want to connect online and using the AC to download the firmware, they're always using this STP mode to doing an update. Okay, and the last one, the update, don't forget to put the file name. Okay, or else, right, the AC won't know which file they actually have to get from a server and apply this one to all the AP. So here is some of the example: configure the source interface and import the AP offline. By default, for all the AC, you don't know what is the VLAN they actually going to use to itself. So we need to manually do that. Using the command CAPWAP source interface VLAN 200. So that's means right now this AC, right, we're going to using the VLAN 200 as its own management VLAN. Then after that, we go into the WLAN view using a command WLAN. Then use the command AP space authenticate mode space. So for this authentication, they support 3 different authentication types. So we can using the no authentication. So that means as long as the AC can able to receive the CAPWAP discover from the AP, you do the auto register. We don't need to do any authentication at all. Then the next one, we have a MAC authentication. So the MAC authentication, you need to base on what are the MAC address, okay, from your AP and do the register. Okay, or else the AC will never recognize the AP until you're going to register the correct MAC address into the AC. And the last one, it will also support the serial authentication. Okay, based on the serial number and do the authentication. So basically for the AC, they have 3 different authentication type: no authentication, MAC authentication, and also the serial authentication. So right here, they're showing the way using the MAC authentication and do the configuration. So the first command they're going to use. Right now, I'm going to register the first AP. Okay, I use the ID number 0. I'm going to do the MAC authentication, and this is my MAC address. So the command over here, that means when the AP belong to this MAC address, okay, to the AC itself is using the AP ID number 0. Okay, then you've done the register. So after you register the AP ID number 0, okay, this MAC address is belong to the ID number 0. From here, you can give the system name. You can using the command called AP name from here. You can name whatever that you want. So basically for this AP, you no need to do any configuration. As long as the AP can able to form the CAPWAP and file by the AC. So all the management stuff and the configuration you can done on the AC. So we're using AP name here and do the rename. Then don't forget to tell this AP. Okay, right now this AP is belong to the ID 0. So I'm going to rename its own system name. And I'm going to tell this AP right now, you are belong to the building 1 group. And then quit. So doing the same again for the next AP. So you're just using the same command with a different ID number. Right? Try to don't using the same IP address, or else they're going to overwrite your previous MAC address and register to the 0, the ID 0. So we try to use a different ID from here because this is my second AP, okay, with a different MAC address. So give the name and try to assign to the correct AP group. So here has some of the configuration for